Okay. Thanks for joining the quarterly release wrap and roadmap update for Passport. Um, I'm Mark Petito, Director of Product at Game Day, and we've also got Rory Stewart joining, who will be taking through some of the demos today. Rory leads up our learning and development section of our product team. So yeah, today we'll take you through some Game Day community updates. We'll focus on some of the features that we've released during Q3, and also give you a bit of a preview of what's coming up for Q4, along with a some time for Q&A at the end. Um, if you've got any questions, please just add them to the chat so everyone can for everyone to see, and we'll kind of come back to them at the end of the webinar. We'll run this webinar for max 30 minutes, and if you can just keep your microphone on silent throughout. And yeah, we'll just use the chat to answer any questions at the end. So in terms of an update on Game Day community, so we've recently released and relaunched the Game Day community website, which is essentially a hub for users, right from national governing bodies down to clubs and teams. There's various learning and support articles accessible through Game Day Community. We've got access to our e-learning library and course content as well to help onboard new users, and also access to our concept to customer C2C program. So find out details about that and how you can kind of get involved with providing any feedback for new features through that program, and also access to our product roadmap, which is available for anyone that visits the site as well. So you can kind of see what's coming up and what we're working on. We also have or offer the ability to join Game Day Community as a member. It's free to join. Some benefits that you get as part of being part of the Game Day community is access to things like focus groups, surveys that we might be running, and also potential access to kind of pilot new features and modules. So we're looking at expanding what Game Day community membership provides you, but definitely worth joining if you are interested in any of that. We've also released our quarterly release wrap video, which will cover some of the things that we're taking you through today. So that is available on our YouTube channel, and also the most recent product update went out last Friday. So you should have that in your inbox, just covering some of the latest feature updates and kind of roadmap features that we're looking to build out, which again, we'll take you through in a bit more detail today as well. In terms of some of the major releases over Q3, so one of the big ones was Link Wallet payments. So this provides the ability to save your payment method through Stripe. And also if you've saved your payment method with Stripe through another merchant or another online e-commerce store, this, provided users are using the same email, it will actually identify that user has already got a saved payment method through Stripe, and present the user with the option to pay through that saved payment method, and essentially really making the checkout process a lot quicker for users. So I've had a really good uptake. Over 16% of transactions have utilized Link within the first 2 weeks of launch. So yeah, really amazing uptake, and Rory will take you through that in a bit more detail. We've also released updates to our play-by-play. section of online results. So this provides the ability for users that are or competition administrators that are utilizing the live scoring feature. That data will flow through directly to the play-by-play section live as you're scoring. So those updates will update the score and all the kind of match actions that happen for that particular match. And we've recently just added additional sports to that particular to live scoring. So we're now supporting over 16 sports that utilize live scoring. So yeah, really cool feature and providing that real-time value for fans and participants and parents. We've also made some updates to how concussion records are managed. So being able to add a document to a concussion record, obviously it's quite an important piece of information that may be accompanying a particular concussion. This also came through our C2C program from one of our customers in the UK, essentially wanting some ability to add a document to those concussion records. And then one that isn't quite obvious or may not be obvious to many, but is a significant change for the platform, was the ability to support UTF-8 characters. So these are non-English language alphabet characters. So this enables users to enter, display, and publish and export data in the language it has been import. This primarily covers a lot of New Zealand Maori names, Irish and Icelandic names and venues and locations, and right through to Arabic and kind of non-English alphabet. So this will provide the ability for people to kind of view the data as it's being imported. So quite a big change for a lot of users across our network. So I'll hand over to. We've also did a small release of Game Day app in July as well. So just some updates to the app as well. So I'll hand over to Rory for some demos.
Cool. Thanks, Mark. G'day, everyone. Nice to see you all this evening or morning, wherever you are. Just going to share my screen here. It's coming through all right, is it, Mark?
Yeah, all good.
Yeah, beautiful. All right, so yeah, I'll just take you. It'll be a relatively straightforward demo for a few of those features, but I'll take you through each of those bits and pieces that Mark touched on. Starting with Link. So Link, if you're not familiar with it, is basically a way for registrants or members or whatever you want to call them to save their payment methods through a registration form. So it's tied to their email address. So we put that, my own one in there. What we'll see once we'll need to fill out a verification code here. What we'll see is any payment method that they've used previously and stored it in Link. So having used Link in the past will appear here, and then they can add to that as and when they need to upon registration. So it just takes away a few of the barriers or saves a little bit of time in digging around for credit cards or payment methods upon checkout. So this is available for any registration form through Passport. So long as you've got a product on your form with a dollar amount on it, in order to trigger the payment gateway to show up, then users will be able to use Link and store their credit card details or their payment methods. So fairly straightforward one there. Next one I want to show you is some of the UI updates on our play-by-play section of the website. So this is mainly for competition users and more specifically live scoring users. So anyone using our live scoring feature through Passport will be able to basically automatically publish a running log of any of the actions that are made on the live scoring system. So on the website, this is just an empty demo one. Each match will have a match center, so we'll jump into that. And then the play-by-play tab will be where all the live scoring actions come through. So you can see it's been sort of reskinned to make it a little bit more visually appealing. You're getting the logos on there for the teams. You're getting a running score along the right-hand side, and then in these sort of pills here, noting what period you're in and also what action was taken. So each action that you make through the live scoring system will just automatically publish here onto the page. So if you are running live scoring, and it's available for most sports, if it's not available for you, the system will tell you that it's not set up for your sport. So just get in contact with your account manager if you're interested in using it and using these sort of features. But yeah, it's available for the majority of sports on our platform, and that will automatically be integrated with any of the league websites that have been set up as a part of their onboarding. So if I hop back into the back end of Passport, the live scoring feature is going to be found in competitions and match results. So I'll open that up. And then you've got pre-game, at-game, and post-game. What we want is at-game to find the live scoring. You can see this game that's sort of in progress that I've been stopping and starting. It's a fairly clean and intuitive sort of interface. Mark mentioned as well briefly that we now have enabled this for basketball users. So basketball, if you are a basketball user, you might be familiar with Courtside, which is our tablet app for live scoring, which is a little bit more comprehensive than this, and basically is based on an API feed, which sends your members through to the application and then sends it back into Passport with the scores and the results that you enter. This is probably a little bit more, plug and play, sort of straight away into the match, and a simpler one to sort of navigate your way around. What you're doing is you're starting or stopping the clock as and when you need to, and any of the players you've added into that match through the pre-game section will be available to add player actions. So in this case, I'm looking at a basketball match. So I add 2 points, add that to the player, and then that gets added into the game actions log up here, and obviously contributes to the score as well. So I can do the same until the match is finished. You can also do it just as a generic team stat. So if you want to you're not sure who scored the basket, you just add it there. And then in the game actions, you might be able to just add it later. And that will obviously feed into the player stats section of the database and also onto the website, which I just showed you. And then down here, you can you basically see like a team list set up where you can add an action, and then that again will go through the game actions log, and then automatically that feeds into your play-by-play feed. Okay, so that is live scoring. Next one I'm going to touch on is the concussions work that's been done. So we've had a concussion system in Passport for a little while, where either through your match results portal or through your member list and your member profiles, you can log any concussions that might have happened in the match or in play. And that basically allowed you to exclude people from being entered into matches or added into matches as players for a set period of time. What we've added to that now is, if I go into a member record, we'll see on the left-hand side here the medical option, and then concussions. So I'll see any log of a concussion that's been made. You can see this one was made on the 29th of July and the expiry date a couple of weeks thereafter. And what you can do now is add documents to that. So this basically tightens up that that whole compliance piece around needing to put the proper documents and pieces in place for any of the concussion reporting that you do. So what you can do is just give it a name. It's fairly quick. Add the document type and then choose a file from your computer. So that would typically be, in most cases, it would probably be a PDF or a JPEG, something of that nature. And then that will appear in the concussion document log for that concussion record. And you can have multiple records with multiple concussion documents attached to each one. And you can do 6 at a time, but once you upload those 6, you can just go through the process again if you've got more than 6 to upload. So that's the concussion work that we've done. And then just finally touching on the UTF-8 characters that Mark mentioned, for characters that fall outside of the standard numbering and lettering system, the 26-letter alphabet. You can see here just an example of a name with some of those UTF-8 characters that are now supported being shown. So that'll apply across the whole database. Member records, whether it's in your product name or showing in reports and that sort of thing. Hopefully making the system a lot more accessible for any of those international users that we might have. So yeah, that's about all I've got in terms of demoing features. So I'll hand it back over to you, Mark, and we'll go through some roadmap updates.
Great, thanks, Rory. So we'll focus on some of the updates that we're looking to make in Q4 or get a start on. So I'll start over on the left-hand side in terms of on the payments column. So the main thing that we're working on at the moment, and we're very close to finalizing some testing and hopefully getting the release out before the end of October or early November, is the installment payments. So this will provide the ability for you as an organization to offer installments to your members or for program registrations by form. So you can turn it on and off for different forms, and you can control when you want to enable it and disable it as well. If it's enabled, this will then provide the ability for the member or participant to choose to pay for that particular total order amount in 4 fortnightly installments, with the first installment due on the day of the registration, and then every 2 weeks after that. So by 6 weeks, that order amount should be paid off. So that's one kind of major piece of work that we're finalizing, and has been quite a highly requested feature. So we're looking forward to getting that out. The dashboard reports. So at the moment, the dashboard reports have kind of been there for a number of years, and we're just looking at refreshing those dashboards reports and providing some bit more valuable information to organizations to view some high-level financials and membership stats. So we're looking at launching that over the next few weeks as well. We're also looking to schedule in the ability for users to pay through BACS payments in the UK and SEPA payments in Europe. That's the equivalent of a direct debit or BEX direct debit in Australia and New Zealand, which we rolled out earlier this year. So essentially supporting customers in those regions with similar payment options. And then in the competitions category, we're currently working on improved login experience. So essentially for administrators logging in, um, particularly if they're utilizing a number of our different products, they may have a couple of different logins. So we're looking to unify those over a single sign-on. And part of that will provide the ability to enable things like two-factor authentication through a one-time passcode. So this provides ability to increase security for access to the database and also improve the login experience. So, if you do forget your password, you don't need to kind of go through the whole reset process. You can kind of log in through a one-time passcode, which hopefully should, speed up some of those issues that you may have if your some users have issues logging into the system. We're also scoping some competition management enhancements. So this is primarily focused around product simplification, improving the competition setup, and some improvement around management of final series. So we've got a bit more detail to come out around that. We're also onto the game day view, scoping some updates around how we present data with our game day view, which is our business intelligence tool. Um, we're very much aligned to season-based reporting. So we're looking at moving that away from season-based reporting more to date range reporting, and allowing you to choose the dates that you want to kind of report your data on. Um, Onto the marketplace section where currently scoping out an integration with Xero, which is quite a popular accounting package amongst our customers. So this will provide the ability to integrate your Xero account and also then feed through the settlement payout information for reconciliation of any income that has come through the system and also any charges that we've applied through those payouts and reconcile that through an automation through your Xero accounting package. The other integration that we're working with partner is Globacol. So they are a leading provider of safeguarding and software and case management in the UK. So we're looking at integrating our platforms for that particular for customers in the UK. And then the Game Day app, we are looking at quite a major update to Game Day app. We're calling it 5.0. Essentially, this will provide a number of major enhancements, new design, and improved user interface and user experience, which I'll take you through some of those designs. So that work will be commencing this quarter, and we'll hopefully try and get a initial release out for that before the end of the year. And with Courtside and Scheduler, just continuing any ongoing kind of general enhancements to those products as well. So in terms of Game Day app, main things that we're focusing on as part of this update is quite a big change to our user interface and user experience. We're looking at integrating that single sign-on piece through the app as well, enhancing the search to make finding things like competitions, clubs, teams, and players a whole lot easier, improving things like team management and how you kind of follow teams to make that easier to find and follow the right team. results entry, so surfacing the online results directly within the app, allowing for team admins to manage that pre-game, at-game, live scoring, and post-game directly in the app. And also the option for a paid version, which will provide users with the ability to subscribe to a paid version, which removes the advertising component from the app as well. So some of those designs here for you to see. So this is kind of a look at some past matches with some scores that have been entered in the schedule screen. This is a view of the match center with some completed match and team stats. The competition home for a ladder and table, so providing essentially a summary of the ladder for a particular competition. The team home overview, so being able to sync matches to calendar and easy access to the club, seeing what the next game is and the last 5 games for that particular team. So yeah, there's some of the designs that we've got at the moment. So we're looking forward to getting those updates out over the next quarter.